Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be about having time for a relationship. I've been in a lot of situations where I've talked to different guys and they're just like, I'm sorry, I just don't have time for a relationship right now. And I'm like, okay, so when are you going to have time for a relationship? Saying you don't have time for a relationship to someone is just you saying that you are not interested in that person, because life is never going to get simpler. Life only gets more and more demanding, especially when it comes to jobs and growing anything in your life like families or career or anything like that, because after college, you pretty much are going to be working a full-time job. And if you're not working a full-time job, if you're a stay-at-home mom, if you are building your own business, traveling the world, you're always going to have things that you're doing. And when it comes to a relationship, if you don't have time for one, then you're probably going to die alone, because when it comes to finding someone that you really like, you make the time for them. So if someone's important enough to you, you make the time for them. I've definitely in the past told people that I don't have time for a relationship. That was just me being nice and saying, hey, I'm not interested, which I should have just said in the first place, because it's bad to lead people on. But at the time, I was just really scared to just be like, I'm not interested in you that way. On the other hand, if you are talking to someone, life does come with complications. Life does get busy. And the person that you're talking to has to understand that you don't always have tons of spare time in a week to spend time with them. I would say if you're saying, oh, I don't have any time this month to hang out, unless you're traveling and you're nowhere close to the person, then you should at least be able to set aside a few hours a week for that person if you're really interested in them. I know that in the past, when it comes to me having my full-time job with Sprint, my YouTube stuff that I'm doing, along with trying to build my own life coaching business, I don't have a lot of time to do things. And when it comes to my spare time, I do have a lot of friends that I like to spend time with, along with my sister and my nephew and my other sister who's down in college. So when it comes to dating someone for me, I definitely have to plan time to see them. And another thing that comes into play with me is the fact that I live an hour away from where I work. And when it comes to driving, I can't really drive an hour in the opposite direction to drive 2 hours back home. And so for me, I really have to do a lot of time management to make sure that I see the person that I'm talking to. So this is where time management and communication are key in the relationship. Just because if you do really like someone, you have to communicate that you like them. You have to communicate that you don't have a lot of spare time and that you do want to use some of your spare time to hang out with them. But there are some people out there who require a lot more time, and if you don't have it, then that relationship's probably not going to work out. Because there are some people who are living their dream job. So once they're done with their dream job, they've got some spare time to hang out. I'm working a job in retail right now, which is not my dream job. I'm hopefully going to be getting a trainer position, which would be more towards my dream job. But my life coaching and my YouTube is more of what I really am passionate about. So when it comes to my spare time, I have to dedicate some spare time to my YouTube channel and to my life coaching clients. So when it comes to me, I really have to make sure that I can schedule something with the people that I'm talking to. So when I take time out of my schedule to get to know you and come meet you, that's a huge thing for me, because I don't have a lot of spare time. But I'm never going to put myself in a situation where I'm lying to someone and saying, oh, I just don't have time for a relationship right now, because to be honest, if the right person came into my life, I'm most definitely going to make time for them, because I think it's important to make time for the significant other that you're talking to, because that's a big part of your life. When it comes to your life, it's like career, health, relationship, family. So when it comes to meeting someone, if I really do like them, I'm going to take the time to try to get to know them and take them out on dates or go over to their house and have dinner, just because I want to get to know them and they are a priority in my life. So when it comes to priorities, you want to make sure that if you're talking to someone who's a priority, they know that. Don't go around telling people that you don't have time for a relationship, because honestly, word gets around and people are going to hear that. And if the right person that you really are interested in hears that you're an extremely busy person and don't have time for a relationship, they might be a little bit turned off by that and be like, okay, not interested in someone who doesn't want to take any time on getting to know me. More recently, I've become a lot better at just being upfront and honest with people. If I'm not interested in them or I don't see anything going anywhere with them, I just tell them that, because I think it's important to kind of cut ties with someone and not lead them on. I know that there's a lot of people out there who will lead people on while they're talking to other people, just because they want someone to fall back on if someone else doesn't follow through with them. But I think that's a horrible thing to do to people. So I personally don't have a lot of spare time, so when it comes to talking to multiple people, that's really hard for me. I don't really have a lot of spare time to be talking to tons of people. So when I'm taking time out of my schedule to talk to someone, because they're important to me, and I've put them on a higher priority list in my life just because I do want to get to know them. I would like to spend more time with them. Even if my schedule doesn't always allow it, I will most definitely let them know through text that I'm thinking about them, just because a simple text does not take that long. I know I've been in relationships where people are like, oh, I just didn't have time to text you today, and it kind of goes on for like multiple days, and I'm like, so throughout the past 4 days, you had 0 time to send me a quick text and just be like, hey, thinking about you. I wasn't asking for a full-on blown conversation or a meet and greet to where I meet your family and we spend tons of time together, or a freaking weekend vacation. I was just asking for a simple text. So when it comes to time, you have to make sure that you're managing it in a way that you're actually putting the things that you really enjoy in life at the top of your list. If your job that you are working right now is not your favorite thing, then don't spend any time outside of that job stressing over that job. Put all your time into the things that you are passionate about and put it into the relationships that you have with your friends and family and maybe significant other. I know I've been in relationships where on one hand, I'm extremely busy and the person gets really upset that I don't have tons of time to spend with them. And they get really upset with me and we end up arguing about time management and priorities and stuff like that. And it wasn't really the fact that I've in the past ever given anyone more time. It's just that person requires a little bit more time. So if I don't have that, then it's not going to work out. Whereas I've also been on the other side where the person I'm talking to doesn't have a lot of spare time, and the time that they're willing to give me doesn't satisfy my need for the amount of time that I need to feel like I'm in a healthy relationship. So when it comes to dating people, you just really have to feel things out and just communicate openly about how you feel about everything. So if the person that you're dating isn't giving you enough time to make you feel special, then talk to them about it. It's important for you to feel happy in a relationship, and you should never feel like you're not a priority in someone's life, especially if you've been dating for a while. But I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Turn on the little notification bell over here if you haven't, so you know whenever I post new videos. And make sure you go check me out on Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I have all of those and I post on those pretty regularly. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.